It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we are brewing the follow-up to the very successful Barry Island IPA with SA Brains Brewery. What is it, you ask? It's a grapefruit pale ale. The name? Barry Island Grapefruit Pale Ale. So let's jump straight into the brewing video. Let's meet Bill, the team at Brains. Hope you like the video.
Going in now, we've got a blend of pale ale malt and some caramel malt in there to give it a nice malty sweetness. Will be a dark golden colour for this beer.
Look at that. Smells wonderful. Coming to the end of mashing in, what are we doing, Bill?
Right, we've mashed in, we're just going to check the temperature of the mash. So we've got a big probe thermometer here. We're going to dip in and we're looking for around 66 degrees centigrade. So the temperature will just come up. So to get that, we've mixed the hot water with the grist. So we've got no control after we've mixed it. So yeah, we're just 66.5 in here today, a little bit more, warm in here today. Perfect, 66, 67.
You've done this before?
Just a couple of times.
Okay, we're beginning to sparge, Bill. And is this to kind of just wash over the malt, just to get some more of that flavour and sugars out of it?
What we do at this stage, Simon, is we're draining all the sugary extract we've got out of the malt, but we're also putting hot water over the top to rinse it through as well.
Right, okay.
So if you imagine we've got a big bed of grain there, and what we're doing is washing out all the sugars, all the flavour and all the colour out of that malt. So the hot water is helping rinse that through, and there's water going on at the top, and what's coming out at the bottom is nice, sweet, sugary flavours of wort.
Oh, fantastic. That's the first look at the beer. Okay, it's a first look. Barry Island Grapefruit Pale Ale. Looking good. Nice.
Have a taste?
Yeah, absolutely. Look at that. Morning wort. Love it. Look at this. And Bill's giving me a big jug. He knows I like it. Beautiful, try that.
Put those on your chest, Simon.
That's really nice. Sweet. You get that biscuit malt. You get that biscuit malt.
Lovely and caramel sweetness.
Lovely.
Caramel as well.
Really good.
Beautiful.
Good start. Weighing out the hops. What we got, Bill?
There's a fresh pack of Summit hops. So these have got quite a nice grapefruity aroma. Get your nose in there.
Yeah.
So these will complement our grapefruit flavours. Absolutely superb in the beer.
Oh, smells wonderful. Come and have a look at this, guys. Look at that. One of the best smells you can get on planet Earth, eh? So we're just weighing out the hops now. How much do we need, Bill, for this addition?
Well, we're going to weigh some out that are going to go in late in the copper, and then we're going to put some in the, we're going to dry hop into the fermenter as well. So
okay.
We're just weighing out the ones that are going to go into the late addition to the copper at the moment.
Brilliant. So, in total we have Summit, Citra, and Mosaic. Some of the best hops in the world. With that pink grapefruit we're going to be using, what we don't want is we want a nice level of bitterness, of course. We want that lovely fruity, citrusy.
Well, that's the Mosaic, Simon. Have a smell of that.
Peppery, citrusy, spicy, wonderfulness. So yeah, we want a good balance of hops. We want that lovely natural vitamin C, grapefruity flavour to come through to make this beer super refreshing. We want the beer to be really well kind of bittered, but not overly bittered. It's a pale ale, it's a beer you want a couple of pints of. You don't want to kind of over hop your palate on this beer, so a nice balance of the malt, the grapefruit, and of course that lovely hop aroma and bitterness on the back end. Okay. So that's a little look at weighing out the hops. So in the middle of brewing our grapefruit Barry Island Pale Ale, Barry Island Grapefruit Pale Ale as I should call it, the Queen's arrived. Unbelievably, there's Cardiff. Here's a nice view of Cardiff. If you have a look there, I'm going to zoom in now. There's the Queen's cars. So she's arriving by train into Cardiff Central Station, presumably to come and meet me. What are we doing here, Bill?
Well, we got a sample from the copper. She's coming up to boil, and we're checking the gravity. So that's a measure of how much sugar is in there. So we need to check the temperature. We need it 20 degrees centigrade, just coming down to now. So this is cold water running on the outside of this to cool the sample down.
Okay.
So we need to a temperature 20, and then we'll measure it with a saccharometer. It's basically a big float.
Okay.
Which the more sugar's in there, the higher it will float.
And that's for ABV, alcohol by
Well,
volume?
this is, what we're measuring now is how much sugar's in there.
Right.
And that will relate to the alcoholic content at the end. So the more sugar we've got, the more alcohol we're going to produce.
Excellent.
So we're currently at 10:57, I think we're going to be. And we want to collect finally at 10:45, 10:46. So we've got a little bit more work to run into the copper, which will dilute it back to that right gravity. So everything's on plan at the moment.
Okay. Quick look at the rolling boil. Just added the first addition of hops into this beer. It smells, again, it smells wonderful. Boiling wort, first addition of hops. Bill, why does the beer get boiled at this stage? Is it purely to just cleanse the beer and get rid of all that bacteria?
Yeah, it's just, we've got a sugar solution, so we need to sterilise it. But also we need to extract bitterness and flavour out of the hop. So boiling it has a number of functions. We're also taking out proteins and various other things by boiling it. So there's lots of things going on in the copper. We're developing the flavour more as well, so we're enhancing the flavour of the malt by concentrating it through the boiling as well. So lots of things going on.
Superb. Quick video of the spent grain. After I've dug this out, Bill, does this go to the cows?
Yeah, this will go for cattle feed. This time next week it will be milk.
Right, I gotta dig this lot out. Should we get started? Dig out this mash tun. Let's get started. Hey Bill, it's been a while since I did this.
Well, I wouldn't be as unkind to say this, Simon, but I think the exercise will do you good.
Absolutely.
It's now 28.4 degrees in here.
Middle of summer.
So those of you who've seen Simon on various videos with his shirt off recently will realise he needs to shed a few pounds. So, so we're going to sweat it out of him today.
Absolutely. Okay, legs hopping. Get it in the boil. There it goes. Adding the yeast, putting the hat on the brew. Look at that. Lovely liquid yeast. So why is it, Bill, that we have this, essentially we've just made this sugary solution. What is it that yeast does to turn this sugary solution into alcohol?
Well, yeast's natural metabolism is to basically consume simple sugars. So we've made simple sugars for them to feed on. And yeast will, it's a clever little thing, it's a single cell fungus. What it will do is, initially it'll start to grow more yeast cells. So the cells will bud and form new yeast cells until it uses up all the oxygen that we're injecting into the wort as it fills. Okay. Once all the oxygen's filled up, unlike me and you, it can actually survive without oxygen.
Wow.
Then it will convert the sugars that we've got basically into heat energy, carbon dioxide, and it will convert those sugars into alcohol. So without it, life would be a dull place, basically.
Absolutely.
And it's the same process that's going on in wine fermentation, in cider fermentation. So it's that ability of yeast to ferment simple sugars that is the basis of all alcoholic drinks. The format of beer, we've made the sugars from malted barley basically, but it's the yeast that's breaking those down to give us alcohol.
Fantastic. Thank you for having me today, Bill.
That's all right. That was the science bit, Simon. It's been a pleasure as always.
Brilliant. Cheers.
Cheers.